Hello, everybody. This is A.S. Wellman here. In time for Halloween, I'm going to be reading chapter 2 in a few parts from Six Bullets, Seven Kills. All right, here we go. Chapter 2. Spencer Mahoy turned from Marketside Road onto the property of Aldrich Inn. In the founding times of Hollow Pass, Aldrich Inn's humble foundation began erected from spirits and pleasures to those who broke a pickaxe sweat. The name Sidehold was known for 2 generations until one of the founding families of Hollow Pass, the Aldriches, the family in charge of farmland and stock animals, bought the land. Within 3 years, the Sidehold faded out, while Hollow Pass built its first chapel, founded by Aldrich. Damnation found the people of Hollow Pass, preaching fear and sin, redemption only appearing to those who have been personally touched by the Word of God, those who are willing to accept God's gospel into their everyday life. Devoting time, both physically and mentally, shall be lifted among his kingdoms. By the 4th year, the chapel mysteriously burned to the ground, 50 yards from the former side hole. The sheriff, at the time, investigated the destruction in a quick affirmation of candlelight source of ignition. The Aldriches acted to the mayor, which resulted in both pleasure houses and houses of God to neither exist in a public building nor outside gatherings. Since the whoremongers were accused by the select religious folks, those days have faded away for 53 years. Spencer Mahoy pulled into a parking spot closest to the 39-year-old bed and breakfast, the only one of its kind in Hollow Pass. He placed his 1972 GMC Yukon into park. His family name origins in the late 1880s, only striving to work in home security. The Mahoys moved out of Old Town, the founding housing facilities located off Main Street, which ran 14 miles until merging into Cole Road. Apologies. This was the back entrance to the town, which ran its operations through twists and sharp turns of the backside mountain passage. This allowed the townsfolk to the sense of unawareness to Hollow Pass's generating income. The Mahoys purchased a home on the cul-de-sac neighborhood of Hollow Nest, the new suburbs built in 1948. Spencer's father moved himself and his mother in 1953. At this point in the Mahoy family line, his father and mother, who miscarried 3 times before his actual birth, not even knowing of his siblings' conceptions, was all that lived in Hollow Pass. Leaving his work satchel on the passenger seat bench, Spencer investigated the oncoming storm, just as he thought it just as he thought it would be in about the next 15 minutes. Mayor Henry Armstrong hired Spencer last week to track the nightly whereabouts of his 19-year-old daughter, Kelly Armstrong. Mayor Armstrong did it based on a recommendation from John Kessler, Spencer's best friend. Mayor Henry Armstrong was reluctant to give a nobody surname of relevance to Hollow Pass a job with sensitive outcomings. John reminded Armstrong that Spencer Mahoy was the only individual in Hollow Pass to receive draft papers, that of 1973. Unbeknownst to Spencer was the mayor's response to John, stating that he forgot his hopes of vanishing the Mahoys from town. Going off one of the founding family's words, Mayor Armstrong begrudgingly hired Spencer. After all, Spencer was engaged to Catherine Aldrich, another beginning family. Spencer knew Kelly Armstrong was in Old Town. The rapidly approaching storm would ground him inside his Yukon, producing camel clouds within, water falling exteriorly into view. Spencer called himself off for the night. This gave him the opportunity to enjoy the company of Catherine and his daughter, Anastasia. Of course, his cousin, Wyatt Stingle, and recent friend, Red Olivier, would be playing cards in the kitchen. Spencer dashed the remaining distance, opening the right double door entry. He closed the door with ease, locking the inside to the other double locked bar's twin. The main the main lights were already off, while secondary illumination provided seclusion to those dwelling inside. Spencer crossed the lounging area to both his left and right, glancing at the magnificent bar to the back wall, mirrors reflecting the back sides of bottles, angling the shine of crystal glasses of different shapes and sizes to the catching eye. He swiveled his determining gaze to the dining area of either side. Beyond the lounges, nothing disturbing the shadows. No one sitting at the tables provided to the paying customer. The bar wall, extending 10 feet from its intended name, housed the servant double swinging door which led to the kitchen. Right hand pushing it open, he was greeted with the smell of Catherine's homemade beef vegetable soup, the sounds of baseball being drunkenly discussed loudly by Wyatt Stingle, cheering for the St. Louis Cardinals, while Red Olivier batting off the views of the Atlanta Braves, providing the levels of personal consumption to Spencer. Moving down the short, light brown hallway, Spencer caught the remarkably familiar scratchy sound of Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite playing on a record player / radio entertainment system of wood, golden speaker covers held in by decorative wood trim designs.